The convergence point of Bharonic faith, as much as there is one, is an ancient archival order dating back to Pascalian times, the order Xenoglossia. While faith is a personal affair for most people in the baronies, for the priests, theocrats, and augurs of the order, the passions are taken literally, and very seriously. Housed deep in Begum Stygos Canyon, the Xenoglossary is a house of mysteries and the proving grounds for all aspirant augurs. It is from this ancient and secretive order that all state augurs are drawn. The glossary, as it is often called, is fully independent from and adjacent to the political orders of the baronic houses, and acts functionally like a minor house with outsized influence. Membership is for life, and aspiring augurs do not undertake the pilgrimage to join the order lightly, for upon entry into the ranks of the temple monastery, they forswear all bonds of allegiance, claims to noble titles, inheritances, or ownership of property. The order is ruled based on seniority, and the oldest augurs act as electors for a small council that makes decisions for the maintenance and survival of the monastery and its priesthood. All state augurs partake of the substance known as the blue blood of Pangloss, a medicinal liquid distilled by secretive means from local Bigi flora, and named after the founder of the order, Pangloss the eunuch. Over time, the blood stains their lips, tongues, and extremities blue, and renders them chemically sterile. Long-term users live exceptionally long lives, up to 100 years longer than they might otherwise be expected to live, as their metabolism slow, until they eventually reach a state of prolonged meditation that is treated as clinical death. The meditating and partially mummified bodies of the elder priesthood are purportedly kept beneath the monastery and consulted rarely on matters of extreme import, some rumored to have been there for 200 or 300 years before disintegrating. Consuming the blue blood over time is said to grant mild precognitive abilities, abilities that seem much stronger in the elder priesthood, as they occasionally demonstrate publicly. It is unclear how much of these shows of precognitive skill are theatrics and how much is genuine supernatural prowess, if at all, but they are unerringly accurate and regard their apparent abilities with extreme seriousness and rigor. The blue blood is what, mythologically, gives augurs their skill in reading bonds and predicting the whims of the passions, and why all state-employed augurs must pass through the Xenoglossary. Unable to bear children, inherit titles, or continue their line, augurs of the order are granted special access into baronic courts and the back rooms of political halls in both traditional and republican houses. Their unique status in society allows them to speak truth to power, act outside the normal social order, and make suggestions or offer advice some would consider heretical or defiant of norms, all under the cover of divine inspiration. Many join the Xenoglossia out of a desire for this special access and political freedom, while others join to gain deeper understanding of the divine. Noble barons, especially those in contest for claimed titles, are sometimes forced into the priesthood as a result of political machinations. These aspirants make up a minor but significant bulk of the augurs that populate the halls of the gloomy archive. In the past, these exiles have prominently used the skills, influence, and forbidden knowledge from their time at the glossary to enact revenge against their political rivals, a practice that several monastic reforms have attempted to prevent. The augurs trained deep in the halls of Stygos are practiced at reading the bonds and wills of the passions and predicting the various whims of fate and minor spirits that are said to govern these things. They learn medicine, astrology, arts of cultivation, and the hidden tongue of the passions, through which they are said to be able to communicate with them directly, and which gives the Xenoglossia its name. Aside from their religious duties, the Xenoglossians are, and began as, the holy keepers and recorders of baronic history, heraldry, and genealogy. Each house, its arms, and its membership and line is recorded in meticulous detail, and the Chamber of Arms at Stygos is the primary governing body for determining the rules and manners of heraldry in the baronies. New houses or free companies seeking to establish themselves must petition the keepers for new heraldry, a process that can take scores of years of subjective time for the applicants. The monastery itself is defended by a militant order, the Stygos Grammaton, warrior monks of an exceptional caliber. They are highly skilled in hand-to-hand combat and display incredible discipline, reflexes, and acrobatic skill.
Hello there.
When one of the Grammaton leaves the planet, typically for matters of pilgrimage or to escort other augurs, observers often remark on their supposedly precognitive martial arts and their seeming inability to feel pain, fear, or doubt. Augurs rarely leave the order, only on exile or death from natural causes. Those augurs that reach a state of clinical death from prolonged use of the blood are not considered to have exited the order, even after their bodies crumble to dust. The few augurs that have fled or tried to abuse or share the powers, secrets, and access granted to them by their training and connections at the monastery for personal means have in almost all cases been mercilessly hunted down by the Grammaton, who have an uncanny ability to show up with no possible prior knowledge of their target's movements.
Hello there.
The order remains highly influential in Baronic society but has turned inward in recent centuries, becoming extremely isolationist. While it remains a powerful political force, it staunchly refuses to intervene in the political affairs of the major houses and the galaxy at large, and is more focused on its archival and religious duties. Some say this is because the senior priesthood of the glossary have foreseen a tumultuous period coming to the galaxy, and have chosen to stay isolated for the sake of their order's own survival. Hello there, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell button. If you really want to support my channel, you could visit my Patreon page, or buy me some coffee, links in the description. Anyway, have a nice day.